So we're just going to do a quick fraction review here and go through each of the operations. If you are using this to help you with your homework, please make sure that you write everything that I write. Do not just copy the answers. So the first problem, and you'll notice up here at the top for each problem I've got the rules for what you need to do. So I'm going to be adding these fractions, and the first thing I need to do is to find a common denominator. So I remember that to find my common denominators, I look at the denominators that I have. I've got 5 and 4, and so I think of the multiples of 5. So in my head I count out 5, 10, 15, 20, and they're up at the top. And then I count out the multiples of 4, and the multiples of 4, of course, are 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20. So the first number that both of these lists have in common is the 20. So that's my common denominator. So I write down my fraction. So I've got the fraction 1 over 5, and my denominator I know is going to be 20. And then over here I've got 3 over 4, and once again my denominator is going to be 20. So what I have to do is I have to make equal fractions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look from the 5 to the 20, and to get from 5 to 20 I'm multiplying by 4, and so if I multiply the denominator by 4 I need to multiply the numerator by 4, and so the equivalent fraction to 1/5 is 4/20. Here I do the same thing, times 5, times 5. So the equal fraction here is 15. So first thing I did was find my common denominators, then I made my equal fractions, then I'm going to add my numerators. So the numerators are the top number, so I'm going to add 4/20 plus 15/20, and 4/20 plus 15/20 is 19/20. So I add my numerators, I simplify 19/20, can't be simplified because they're neighbors, then I add my whole numbers. So I'm going to add 1 plus 2, and that's 3. So my answer is for this problem is 3 and 19/20. Okay, question number 2, I look at it, same thing, common denominators. So I count by 6's, and if I'm counting by 6's, I get 6, 12, 18, 24, and I count by 5's, 5, 10, 15, 20. So if I look at both of these lists, I see I have nothing in common, so I continue with my 6's, and my next one is 30, and here, oh wait, I know 30 is going to be my number, so I put my 30 down here, and so I'm looking at 5/6, and I want to know how many 30ths that is. And then I've got 3/5, and I want to know how many 30ths that is. So when I look to go from 6 to 30, it's times 5, so I do the same thing here. So it's times 5, so that is 25/30. And then to go from 5 up to 6 is times, or 5 to 30 rather, is times 6, and so I had the 3 here, so 3 times 6, that's 18. So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to add my numerators. So my numerator is 25, my denominator is 18, so 25 plus 18, that's 13, carry my 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got 43/30. All right, so 43/30, that's an improper fraction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this because fractions mean divide. So 30 goes into 43 once, and that would give me 30. I subtract, I get 13. So it's 1 and 13/30. So that's my fractions. And then I have to add my whole numbers. So I've got 1 plus this 2 here. So my answer to this second problem is 2 and 13/30.